What? It's even up. It's different today, is it not? Exciting. Mixing it up. Well, a little bit.
See the wheel beside.
Yes, of course. Probably. Well, now. Yeah, it's this weird. Okay, just to quickly go off a tangent right off the bat, it's this weird Discord detection algorithm that they have that somehow, if I go into studio mode and have two video outputs, it selects the studio one, so you can't see what is actually being broadcast, and it's gonna keep happening. That's why I'm letting you know, because if I switch something, I'm gonna go back into studio. So it looks nice, but it's gonna be weird for you briefly. I hope you can manage. Speaking of...
I'll try my best.
Awesome. Speaking of doing your best, how are you doing?
Doing my best.
Nice. That's what we like to hear.
Got it. Yeah. To be honest, I'm just rearranging all the windows, so now it should be fine. Should be fine.
Cool.
Right. So how do I do? Doing okay, as always. You know my weeks. The last time, being stressed out with all the breakup stuff that's still going on. The search for a new apartment, which I looked at one today, and although it's got a nice, it's positioned nicely in the city. Very chill place. Around my first apartment in Leipzig. It's rather small. I mean, I don't have that much stuff, but I now have a big bed, unfortunately. Huge bed. And I have a desk, a big desk, and I like that it's big. And I've got a sofa.
Honestly, it would be hilarious if you now moved to a smaller place and had to get rid of your big mattress.
Yeah. I mean, it's still with the 100 days, so I could get the money back.
Not because of the money. It's just that would be the funniest conclusion to Mattress Gate. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not over yet. Let's say that much, because the mattress still smells a bit chemical, and if this mattress should become like a hindrance to my life or me moving out here, it will go. It will go. I can tell you that much.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And just pile the money on the floor and sleep on that or something. I'll figure something out.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah. Very healthy, I think.
For sure.
Probably have to do like coins, because that's not that many.
Coins?
Paper, yeah. Will not be enough to build a bed if I take the paper money of 500 euros, right? So I have to use it. Trade it down in coins, build something out of that. We'll see. But yeah. How has your week been?
Oh man, my week. Well, it has been busy, and I guess we'll chat later about why. But yeah, it's... last week was already so exhausting. Like every day this week, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get everything done that I have to do today so that I can relax a bit. And every day I have been working all day.
It's sort of a natural crunch. Self-inflicted.
Yeah, it's this thing of, you think you're done, and then the minute I turn, I shut everything down, it's like, dang it, I forgot to do this, and I need to do this as well, and maybe this would be a good idea. And so, I just kept, maybe I should refactor my code a bit so I can easily edit it later.
Refactoring, always nice.
Yeah, so it has been exhausting. I'm sure you can kind of see that.
Get used to it. I don't know you any differently anymore.
I think they're worse than usual, those bags under my...
Pretty thick, that's true. Get the thick eyelids there, my friend.
Yeah, I carry all my stress in there. So, yeah, busy. Busy. That's my week. Did I even do anything other than work? Probably not.
Well,
I mean, I saw you once.
You did a reverse game jam, kinda.
That's true. Like yesterday evening, I finally, like at 11 or something, I finally streamed it a bit. And that, I'm excited to talk about that.
I briefly watched you. Then I thought maybe we shouldn't watch each other because then we don't have to talk.
But then I couldn't make fun of you.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, just because we see each other play the game, I mean, we can still talk about. Maybe it's even easier to talk about because then you also, having seen it, have some opinions on it, maybe.
But I thought we're gonna watch the stream.
We're gonna watch the stream?
Yeah, but in the background a little bit, because so people can get like an idea. I mean, why do we stream it if we don't?
Well, so that people watch that stream and then we just talk about it.
Yeah, because we have so many people, we have to get them to watch the other streams.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Hey, Vendesil.
Yes.
Talking of people watching us.
Yeah. Did we have any our usual topics, or should we just jump into that already?
Yeah. Did you even do like a proper greeting? It's your turn again.
Well, I kind of started, and then I got distracted by how Discord shares the screens. So
you're just gonna.
So should we just? Well, I mean, I did say the line. I did ask you how you're doing. I figured that's the hello.
Okay, that counts. Let's not make it too complicated.
Yes, but I guess this is our just chatting and catching up section before we get into the more structured bits. So any other topics that's learned from our meetings?
Not that I can think of right now, but I'm sure as soon as we start something else, I will think of something.
We don't have to overdo it with the structuredness. So I guess what?
Talking of overdoing with the structure, so for people joining us, today we have more than one topic to talk about.
We do.
So we are now in a new segment, and then after that, I think we're going to talk about the games we played for the reverse game jam.
Yes.
After that, we are going to talk about our cool topics that we selected to talk about, which today is best and worst game sequels.
Yes.
Which I have a couple.
Ooh.
I have a couple.
That's good, because as always, I only started thinking about it now, and so we'll see how much I can come up with.
I usually do it on Thursday. Just sitting down, calling that work to think about what I'm gonna say here.
While we're busy tediously explaining the structure, I want to throw in, maybe we should try to actually do the game jam games a little bit over the week, so that maybe we play more than an hour or something of it, because sometimes I guess that could also be fun.
We said we're gonna play an hour.
I said it would be a cool minimum, but of course it would be kind of nice if you experienced more of the game than just get stuck at one puzzle and not moving on from it ever until
I think I've experienced everything I can get out of this game. We'll talk about that in a minute, because the last part, or do we want to do it now? We have a super cool announcement.
No, let's do that. Let's do this later. Otherwise, people just come for the announcement and then leave. Let's make them work for it.
People who have talked to me about our podcast and the well-structured way it is made tell me that they kind of thought it was a bit, hard to watch to the end to get to the cool announcement we do. So I thought maybe we can do it now.
No.
It's too cool. No, it's too cool.
I mean, obviously, what we're doing right now is excessively boring, and we're not going to do it next time with the whole explanation and everything.
We will probably do it, but
no. There will no more explanations. I am fully putting my foot down on that because this was an incredibly boring 10 minutes already. So let's.
I can't guarantee anything.
Well, then I'm just going to mute you.
All right. So strap in, people. This is going to be a ride today.
Yes. All right. So I guess let us start with. Let me do the cool thing that I now have to do more complicatedly. No, that's the wrong one. Yes. What? Reverse game jam, kinda. And this time we had, so last week, you all 5 of you or something, voted for Non-Euclidean Geometry. And if you watched last time, you know that the only game we came up with is Antechamber. And then, of course...
Well, not the only one, but...
All right, that was another one that you said. But then Jana suggested Manifold Garden, which I played so that you could play Antechamber, and we have something, a little bit more varied to talk about. And I guess let's do that. Do you want to start? Or should I? Or...
I think you can start. I did a lot of talking right before. I have to cool down a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So, then I also can answer Vendeso's question, who was watching and asked me how far I made it. And Vendeso's also saying on the topic of no more explanations, Vendeso will remember that and hold you accountable for it. That is very good. Very, very good. All right, so...
Cheers.
Exactly. Cheers. Manifold Garden. My God, was that awesome. You know what? I am going to pull up a little bit of gameplay, because now that I think about it, I don't hate the idea as much.
I really thought we talked about that and decided to do it like that.
Did we? I don't remember. Well, see, and that's the difficulty with streaming Twitch on Twitch. It's people talking.
Very twitchy.
Very, very twitchy indeed.
I'm sorry for that.
Rude. All right, then where is my browser? I know I have one. There it is. Okay, nice. So Manifold Garden. It is, in many ways, it did kind of... Oh, I guess to help that confusion, let me explain. So this is a game where you can change gravity, sort of. Like, not randomly, you have to walk up to a wall, and then you can basically decide this wall is going to be my gravity now. So that's how you switch around. And all the... I never know what to call it. It's not levels. But like the direction in which the gravity goes, like what wall you're on, has a different color coding. So like right now I'm standing on basically the blue direction. And so I can take the blue things, otherwise I can't interact with them. Like if I stand on the side of the wall and try to take it, it doesn't work. And they also fall, towards their floor. And so you have puzzles, like something I did in the previous one just now, where like if behind me is the green wall and I need to put a blue one up on the wall, which would fall down, I go onto that wall, put a yellow one or whatever below where I want it to be, and then I can use it as a shelf. Because as I switch, the yellow one is going to stay where it is, because that's where its gravity is, but then you can use it to prop up the blue one, and it's...
Oh, that's a nice space.
It is so pretty, this game. I love just looking at it. And this also reminds me a bit of Antechamber, because towards the end you also have a section where you have like long walkways that all repeat. So you can also jump down there. And that's my favorite thing to do here. Just jump off the ledge and go. I think I'm going to do that in a second. And it's just fun to just fall. And so I don't have the sound enabled right now because I keep talking while I'm playing, obviously. This. But the sound design is awesome. That's like one of the first things I madly fell in love with. Well, first of all, it has a really nice, moody ambient soundtrack. It's a little bit... it reminded me sort of... I don't know if you ever played or heard of that Lara Croft Go game. That was for a mobile puzzle game.
Heard of, yeah, but
that also has it had also a very nice sounding. It's also a very good game, actually. Much better than the Hitman Go. But yes, so it's...
I think you showed me that.
It is really, really nice. I love listening to this stuff, and I also have to get this soundtrack because it's really good. And the sound design itself, like when you fall, you hear the wind rushing, and as you land, you have like a really satisfying thud. And it's just everything about this game is so satisfying.
But that does the geometry like repeat?
Yes.
Or do you have to get up there again?
No, this is all repeating. So when I jumped down, I came out on the ledge that was to the left of me. Just I picked a different. So this is all the same tower, endlessly repeated.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, how do you do something like that?
I was also wondering that, and Wendesil like explained a little bit of it's probably done with having chunks of this level like pooled, and then you just repeat it, or because it also does some anti-chamber stuff where when you walk into a room, like the layout is impossible, that you're like suddenly there's a corner that you can go around that would thoroughly go into the space where you just came from, but it's different and stuff like that. And I just find it fascinating. It's this mind-bending. You're like this. This was not in the world just now. But you walk into the space and there it is.
Without any loading screens. Yeah, very psychedelic.
It is an awesome game. I had so much fun with it. I actually didn't want to stop playing. I think I did almost 3 hours. And then it got a bit late.
Beast.
But yeah, I think I made it halfway through. So the way what you do here is basically, you solve these like cube puzzles to advance, but then you also get to spaces where, let me maybe skip to that. Sorry?
Is it like do you have like a goal? Is there some story, or is it just like anti-chamber? Here you are, let's try to find your way out.
So there is sort of a goal. So you see this? Oh, okay, that gets dark when I pause it. But so it looks like these spaces are sort of infected with the darkness. And there's a special cube trapped in here that would heal it, basically. And so what I do now, you see these dark lines going along. These are the energy lines. And so right in its first part, I go into this complex here and I solve all the puzzles, and then a beam is gonna come down and activate one, and I do this here 3 times, and then the cube gets unlocked. And let me see if I can show you what it looks like. What do you do then? Okay, so it has to be somewhere here. Right here. Right. So I've activated all of them, so I can take this cube now.
Oh, colors.
And it's gonna transport me.
Neat effect.
Yeah. It is it's so minimalistic in a way, but so beautiful at the same time. Yeah. It's something else. And so what I have to do then is bring the cube to where it's missing, or where there's a broken one. Kind of feels like there's a glitchy cube, and you complete it. But at first I kind of didn't get what I was supposed to do. Right, but here. So you put it in there, and then that section gets healed.
Wow.
And then you get just a moment of like these just shapes and stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of, but you see what I mean? Everything about this is so satisfying somehow. Because this is an awesome reward, even though this is all that happens.
It's interactive artwork.
Pretty much, yeah. And here I didn't see the interaction at first. So let me see. Because afterwards so you interact with that, and then it kind of grows together.
That's so cool. Man, yeah.
And then you've healed one chunk. And from what I saw, there's like 6 worlds like this, and then one in the middle. So there's sort of a map type thingy somewhere. or like an installation that you walk past and you see, oh, okay, so this is a world that I've freed from the darkness. And yeah, I'm not sure in terms of story. I just that's just what it looks like. Also reminds me a bit of the 2008 Prince of Persia, where you also like heal the land from the darkness that has infected it. So it's like an abstract version of that. Oh yeah, and I keep going back and forth here because the sound when it clicks against the stairs is also super nice. Yeah, it's just I really love this, and I'm for sure gonna like finish this. I wanna. All right, so here I put it this extra special cube that I then put together. Put that in here, and then it just kind of heals. There's a tree, there's birds, and these weird structures coming out. So yeah, it's a really good game. This is a hard recommend, and I'm so glad that Jana brought it up. I have never heard about this game before, and it is.
Weirdly, I think I have heard the word, but I had no idea what the game was about, or I've seen. And I think, as good as this looks like in animation, I think like on screenshots, it's I don't know, might look a bit drab, like with the shading.
I mean, of course, the movement is awesome as well. But I already really liked what I saw when I looked up what Jana was talking about, and and this is one of those things where I'm trying to figure out how to change my gravity to something where I don't have to walk.
But how do you change your gravity?
You have to walk up to a wall, and then you just press right click or space, and then it changes. But you have to be by a wall,
Okay.
All right, here I wanted to first check if there's something there, but then my favorite thing, just jumping down things.
Yeah, that's really fun. I love that in games as well. Yeah, do you know the game? Like, I think it's called
Yes, I
haven't played it, but yeah,
I think I've played it once. Huh? I'm trying. Wait. Let me look up the trailer because something I know I have it.
Disregard of gravity or something. Because it's just, obviously, falling down or jumping down is something so interesting that someone just built a game around that, and that I like.
Right. Because this was one of those games, when Humble Bundle started or something like that. Around that time, I know I have it, like on many, many systems.
I don't think I have it, but I don't know.
I think that was past 2011. That sounds about right. Or that was at least when I got into.
I didn't get all the Humble Bundles, so could be that I missed that one.
But I don't think. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I played it, but maybe not. Maybe I just always see it in my Steam library. But if that's also a game about falling down, then I for sure have to try it because I love it.
It is.
So yes, Manifold Garden, awesome.
Yeah. Medicine says, it reminds me of your question from yesterday about the video with the tunnels. It uses an adapted ray tracing algorithm in which you change the bounce behaviors of the rays depending on the camera direction. We'll post you a link to an interesting video on Discord. There are also some other examples on the topic, non-Euclidean geometry.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit yesterday about how does this work? And then I was also talking about, because I think technically these are not non-Euclidean games. They are just impossible geometry. I think the definition of non-Euclidean is that basically it's not a universe that is in right angles. It's like there's projections on a sphere or anything that isn't.
You have angles that are more than 360 degrees.
Yeah, so weird stuff. And this is still, I think, Euclidean. It's just impossible. But
Lovecraftian shit.
And so I sent Wendes a link because I then was like I also, because I looked up actually I can show this too probably real quick, because I looked at a example of someone trying to build like a non-Euclidean ray tracing engine, and it is, it doesn't look like much. I think it's more than 10 years old, but it was very interesting how, I'm curious how these things work. Like he showed like the usual, right? This tunnel is much longer on the inside than on the outside. This is much shorter. But he also has a space on the other side where when he walks in one direction, it's way quicker. Like here's a weird anomaly.
And I think I remember that.
Yeah,
or something similar to that, yeah.
Yeah, it's from 2011. And
wouldn't it be great if you had like Minecraft in a universe like that?
Yeah. Here now, he walks. And then walking back, he's just there. So things like that. And that's what I asked if Wendesil knows how that works, and that's what he's referring to here with and yeah, I'm very interested. This seems like something I would like to try just to know how this works, because I can't really, like even like anti-chambers and stuff like that, I can't really wrap my head around how it works. It's probably simple when you know how, but yeah, it's something I want to just play with to see if I can figure that out.
Sounds great.
Yes. So, anti-chamber?
Yes, anti-chamber.
So I have you somewhere, don't I? I guess over here.
Sure, hope so.
Yes. One new video. What? Exciting. Okay. All right, so tell us about your experience.
Yeah. So Anti-Chamber is a great game until I don't have any patience anymore. I mean, I really love this. Like the style, the simple style, and the use of colors, and of course the riddles, the puzzles. It similar to Manifold Garden, although watching them side by side seems like I'm a bit confused because on the okay, right.
You're
confused by myself at the bottom left there.
Yes, that's not you.
Looks very similar. That's from another time verse. Anyway, yeah, I like the game. It's really playing with your perception, with your expectations. It's very, very. How can I say that? At the core, it's a puzzle game, and I think that's kind of my problem there, because I get so easily frustrated by puzzle games. I love puzzle games as long as I get to solve the puzzles in a quick manner, but my brain just works a little bit different, I often feel. And I'm having trouble understanding where the puzzles are, and in this case, at the end I really struggled with not knowing what puzzles I could solve and which I couldn't solve yet. I think Reverse in the chat tried to help me, telling me that like the one puzzle I can't.
Recursive.
Oh, recursive. Yeah, right. Which was nice, and yeah, I guess people could have yeah, let people help me a little bit more and have more fun with the game, because yeah, as I said, I get frustrated with that. I assume because I think I'm kind of a bright person, intelligent guy, and then I
that's
feel like
how
I
it
should
gets.
be able. I should be able to get this. Why can't I get this? And yeah, obviously I always lost track of where I am, where the puzzles are that I don't have. And this game is really convoluted in where the different riddles are, and I think it's just like part of the fun of the game, or it's on purpose that even like the map doesn't help you too much. It does help you, but not it didn't help me really understand. And here this thing I didn't even know what's happening here with all that balls, and yeah, and then just wander around being frustrated and not knowing what's up. Yeah, and then I stopped because I don't want to feel frustrated anymore and never start again. But until that point, I have a lot of fun with games like this, and especially with Antichamber. But now, like in comparison to Manifold Gardens, it's cool, but isn't Manifold Garden much cooler? I mean, it looks bigger, like this open space thingy really does something. It looks prettier. I know about the riddles, of course.
The riddles are simpler. It is all like cube-based riddles. Or like at least, well, I haven't played the game all the way through. I'm only halfway through, but I think the only other type of riddle was still about these energy connectors, because putting the the cubes, or wait, actually there is one, because you have these rivers, and the cubes, they had these arrows on them, if you saw that, and they can redirect the rivers, and then sometimes you like power like gears and stuff like that through that. But it's all cube based, and it is not difficult. Like these things that this does, where it fucks with your mind, like things where you have to walk backwards so that you get to a new space or something. It's not like that so far, at least. It is confusing sometimes a little bit, right? As I mentioned with the impossible spaces and stuff. But I think Antichamber is a little more mind fuckery. So what's going on here? Oh, you're in a dark corridor.
Yeah, I'm drinking beer. As I do.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't think I want to play this more than an hour without help. I think it would help maybe more, but again, getting help really kills the enjoyment of getting the stuff, like solving the riddles. If someone helps you, it's really okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't give you a kick anymore, right?
I guess. But I guess if your reaction to that, I suppose, is to not play the game anymore because you're so frustrated you can't figure it out yourself, then maybe it's cool to get a bit of help. But yeah, when I played this many years ago, when did this come out? Like 2014 or something, maybe? Wait, when was this? Antichamber. Or 2013? Yes, 2013. So I played it back then, so I don't remember it much. I just remember liking it. Are you trying to figure out where to put the block?
Yeah.
Even though it says so on the wall. You see there's hints on the wall, right?
Yeah, just left click, right click, but not really where you have to put it.
Yes, it says put the block up there so the thing can't fall down.
All right, I never saw that.
See, and that's so that's what I noticed watching you. The way you play, it's infuriating.
Yeah, for me too.
And it's like you overthink it.
Yeah,
That's really what I came away with watching you.
Yeah, that's what I do.
You make like when you wait. Let me skip to that.
Because I don't know how what works and what
this
doesn't.
One that was
this one. Oh man,
how you
that's
keep
the point where
doing stuff where I'm like, but but clearly it's not working. Well, for one, you kept getting what you were doing. Also, you kept missing like one to even make what you tried to make in a pattern complete. Yes, you tried to make that. Usually the one on the bottom right. I don't know. But then I was like, okay, if you don't get how this works, why don't you go somewhere else? And you were so committed to just.
Yeah, I thought like it's all there. It has to be something just here, and I can solve it. I just have to go through all the combinations.
But like even the first thing I would think if nothing works is, okay, maybe I need green cubes. Like that never even occurred to you?
Because if you take them, they become blue. I was just assuming, well, that's how it is. I didn't think I could get green ones, but yeah,
I'm not even sure that's just the first thing I'm thinking.
The next morning I thought like, maybe there's more than one color gun because this one's blue.
Well, my point is just I had a super nice time with this and I just blew through it. Like I'm not sure how long it took me. I'm feeling it was like 6 hours.
6 hours, you said, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to seem too braggy, but I think it was actually 4. I remember being really quickly done and was like, oh, this is already it. You know, that I played this in one session. And
in
I just
session for 6. Okay, well,
I think it was 4, but you know. And this was a time when I had nothing to do but play video games. So I mean, this was before. Was it before us? No, not quite. Anyway, or was it? We were founded in April, and this came out in January. So who knows? Anyway, point being, I guess my approach to this is different because to me I was amazed how intuitive this is, despite being so like the opposite of everything, right? It's like messing with your expectations. Nothing works the way you think it should work. And still I felt like, wow, I'm really like, it's really intuitive. That was just how I came away feeling. Because there were times, I guess I got used to how the game subverted expectations and I expected it to subvert them. So when there were like, I remember thinking this when there was a divide, like a pit or something that I wanted to get across. There was no, it was similar to the first one, like with the jump and stuff. I just, at that point, just was like, all right, then I'm just gonna go. And it was not that the stair appeared. I think it was just an invisible hitbox there that kept me so that I could walk over an invisible bridge. And I just tried it because I already expected the game to mess with me like that. And and that made me feel really like, wow, I can't believe that worked, because no other game would that work, but of course it works here because I'm expecting it to. And that was...
Can now see me lose my patience.
So yeah, I really liked Antechamber, but I can sort of see how you wouldn't like it if you approach it with this. Yeah. I have to be able to solve this, otherwise I'm dumb. I would have just walked away and tried something else if it doesn't work for 2 or 3 times, you know. So I never got stuck at these puzzles.
Why did this thingy appear there now?
I can't tell you. I just would expect it to.
Yeah.
It's just kind of what happened.
I don't know. I just felt like I should be able to solve this with what I've got. And I obviously wasn't able to, but that really didn't cross my mind. Just thought like, obviously I'm too stupid. Well, let's try some more combinations. I will find it. I frustrate myself with this. Yeah.
But yes, I think Manifold Gardens is more accessible than this. Because this is like a proper puzzle game, and it's not like Manifold Garden isn't. It's a little more like Portal, maybe. The way you kind of arrange stuff to solve something, but it's not this mindfuckery where you have no idea what's going on. You always kind of know what you have to do, and of course sometimes it's difficult, but it's not like this where you where like anything can mean anything, and what is this even that you're trying to do there? Yeah. By the way, I wanted to ask you about that. I wrote that in the chat, but you saw it way later. What were you trying to do here? Because you can walk through. So what is this doing? I thought you were trying to build a space to go through.
Yeah.
But you can go through, so what are you doing?
Because this triggers some door at the other side. And I wanted it to not trigger.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't see the door, and so there was one... I thought you were trying to build like a pathway, and then I saw you jump through, and I was like, wait, what? What are you doing then?
watch from the other side. Yeah, that too. I thought like I have... That's kind of my expectation for the whole thing, was always like that you can solve all the problems with what you've got, and that like this blue gun is the only thing, because I haven't seen anything else in the game. I just played it for 40 minutes, and I came probably not as far as I've come here.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, no, I'm blocking you getting frustrated. I want to see that. Yes, yeah. I see.
Yeah, and that's the misconception I had until the end, when I just stopped being frustrated. Because I was so frustrated. As you can see, like the door goes down if you touch them. The door in the background. So yeah.
Okay. Oh well. So, what is our verdict for this week's Reverse Game Jam? How do we rate this? What do we do with this? Like, do we just talk about it and then it's like, yeah, all right, anyway, or?
Good question. I don't know. I mean, these are cool games. I don't think this one's for me. Maybe I should continue playing it to get over this, like as a form of therapy. But yeah, I don't know. Feels like one of those great games that are just not for me, at least for me right now. And I don't know. Looking at Manifold Garden, maybe because I didn't play Manifold Garden, I kind of wonder why this got all the hype and Manifold Garden didn't. But then again, we usually don't really know the hype, right?
Yeah, also Manifold Garden is relatively new, isn't it? Didn't that only come out a year ago or so? Yeah, end of 2019, so it's not even a year old. So maybe it's that, or maybe it did get some hype. It looks like it first released to...
Has to be like part of a maze, right?
Although I see there were trailers in 2015 already. Maybe I have seen it before? Because I mean, it's not unfamiliar, but I figured that would be the antechamber similarities. I don't know.
But how do you feel about games like that in general? Because I look at Antechamber or Manifold Garden and I watch the trailers and I think like, wow, it looks cool. But then I would never buy that game because it's just, I don't know, it doesn't fulfill any fantasy. It just looks cool, and I would play it if I had like the chance or if I have to for the Reverse Game Jam. But it's not a game I would buy, to be honest.
Now, I wouldn't. I have like another one that I let me try to figure out what it was called. It was something like an Essence. That also kind of reminded me of this.
Never heard of that.
Well, it's also one of those. I don't think that got a lot of fanfare. I just I think I may have seen a Jim Sterling squirty play of it, and yeah, it's also one of these abstract ones. You just run around a lot.
More brutalism in the architecture style.
Yeah, I was also thinking about that. Some of these spaces that I walked up in Manifold Gardens, like there was a really steep, very wide stairs with like huge blocky overhanging things. And I was also thinking, this feels sort of like what I imagine Ayn Rand was thinking about for the Fountainhead.
Ayn Rand's heaven.
I mean, I guess the idea there was that it mustn't be any superfluous details or something. I don't know. That was something that the main character kept complaining about. But yes. So yeah, there's also one. You just jump around. There's some minimal puzzling, but for the most part, it's just this. And I also got it, and I liked playing it, but I didn't play it through. So with this one, I got bored of it at some point, I guess. And
because there's no real reason to do it, but like just
it's just a cool atmosphere. It looks cool. Yeah. It's it plays nice, and you have this I don't know, just this excitement from how interesting it looks. It's basically like looking at an abstract painting, sort of, and it's kind of cool, but I wouldn't make that my main activity usually, you know. And so with this one, I got a little bit bored, even though I'm super curious. Here's parts in this gameplay footage that I've never seen before, but well, yeah, Antechamber I enjoyed a lot. I'm very glad I played that. Had a lot of fun with that. And Manifold Garden I'm for sure gonna finish, because it's just a lot of fun. As I said, it's a very satisfying game. So everything you do, the interactions, the puzzles, the visuals, the sound, everything is really, really satisfying. And so I enjoy that. I don't know if I would have necessarily picked it up if we hadn't done this. Like if Jana hadn't recommended it, and I was like, I wanted to play Antechamber again because I was excited for it, because I do like this game.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, I have already played it. So.
I'm not really sorry. So
yeah, but I was thinking, it might be more interesting to play something new and something different, so we don't talk about the same thing. And I'm really glad that I did, because it was I had a really good time, and I'm really excited to finish it. So, would I pick up the next one? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I guess it all depends if it looks cool, because I guess in these games the look is kind of it's really important. And although it's interesting that they both have a similar one, like not this one, of course, but Antechamber. I mean, this is sort of a similar look to like a desaturated look. No, not desaturated, but it's more white, while Manifold Garden has like this really nice gradient from like a old paper yellow to sort of a reddish tint in the vignette and stuff. But from the concept that it's all very simple and only like edges, basically.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they both do that.
My face right now.
I'm trying to figure that out. You clearly don't have enough cubes, I would say.
I can do it. No, yeah, I see that. It looks both games look like made by some
game design student.
Game design student who's not a graphical guy, but like knows about shaders. And about like how stuff should look, but doesn't really want to draw any textures.
Yeah.
And they're thinking about like textures, how hard this is, and to make look good, and also how big textures get in games.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, because I mean we don't often talk about like people in other countries trying to play games who don't have like good internet. Like a game like Antechamber, how big is that? It's not a gig, right? It's not even a gigabyte.
I don't have my Steam open right now.
But
it can't be too large, right? Antechamber, let's see. Size. Download size, yes.
Okay, let's have some fun. Ask what we are playing. We are looking at Antechamber right now, which we streamed before. In our reverse game jam, and before we were talking about Manifold Garden, and what was the other game you just showed us?
Naissance.
Okay.
So strange puzzle games.
Strange puzzle games. That's true.
So here it is, Naissance.
Naissance. Yeah.
At least that's how I would pronounce it. I'm not sure.
It's not good SEO, right?
Well, it should be, since it's probably unique. No?
Yeah, okay, but you can't spell it.
Yeah, I guess that's the difficulty of good SEO. If you can't spell it, then it's easy to find.
Yeah.
So
a friend of mine who had founded a company. His name is Quirin, and he called it like from creative, I think. A combination of creative and his name Quirin, and it's like Crea Quirin or something like that. And you can't really pronounce it, you can't spell it. But well, what can you do?
Well, if you know how to spell it, at least you can find it.
Yeah, for sure. But then again, if you search for Prime Division on Google, or like especially the Play Store, they will tell you that you're misspelling Primera Divisione, because that's Italian football league. More people.
That is a very weird problem to have. Yeah. Okay, let's have some fun. Says maybe fun Renaissance. Oh, you think like the Renaissance is the Renaissance?
Naissance. Oui, baguette.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, French people. I don't have anything against you. I don't know. I like the French words we have in German and in English. I like saying them, pretending I can speak French. It's not supposed to be offensive.
Yes, I mean, it's just the French. Saying some French words is probably not the most offensive you can do.
Oh no, it's not even the most offensive I did today, but
oh wow,
hey, you can still try.
That sounds interesting.
But I don't think of anything specific right now. I just assume, me being me, I probably have said something more offensive today.
Possible.
Still working on it.
What is going on in this game? Oh, so basically it's an abstract puzzle game. So everything in here is very weird and mind-bending. And so that's the games we've been talking about just now. Some of those mind-bending, puzzly games that have very minimalistic but interesting graphics, I would say.
Yeah. And what's going on there is me trying to solve a puzzle I don't even know how to solve, and fading.
Yes. All right. Cool. Should we already talk about next week's, or do we do the topic selection later? How do we want to do this?
I think it would just fit like to do it now, right?
All right, then let's do that.
We can. It makes sense thematically.
Yes. So, because we do this every week now, and should I leave this playing? Basically, where we do sort of a reverse game jam, where we pick a couple of themes, let people vote on them, and then challenge each other to play something that fits the themes. So a game jam in which we play instead of make. And this week's, let me bring that up so you can see I'm not lying. So last week's topics were Advancing Wall of Doom, Counseling, and Time Control. And it turns out Time Control won. Yay. So,
a slight margin.
Yeah.
Who was this mysterious fourth person who selected Time Control? I would love to know.
Why? Who was the third person? Actually, I only know who was Counseling. Yes, that was...
Well, But you did vote there too, right?
No. Did you?
No?
Did you? Are you Time Control?
Yes.
Well,
I voted for Time Control.
I didn't vote this time because I didn't have a particular preference. Last time I did vote for Non-Euclidean because I wanted to do that. And Time Control I'm actually very happy about because I have something that I want you to play. We even talked about it recently. So I'm excited. Wow. But you go first this time.
I go first this time. Well, last time we both at the same time, so.
No, because I talked about my game first. So now you get to suggest the next game first.
So let me just go over here. I think you can let the browser open so we can look at the game.
Sure.
Time Control. So there are a couple of games that are very obvious if we talk about Time Control. So the most obvious one, I think, that we have talked about before as well is Super Hot.
Super Hot.
Knowing that you don't like Super Hot.
Do you want me to play it?
No. I'm not going to do that for you, because I know you select a game for me as well. I'm not going to burn this bridge. No, so super hot would be one contender I thought of, because when you move, the time moves, and when you stand still, the time stands still. So you have control of the time.
What?
Then the next one I can think of, which I thought would be your selection, is Braid. So Braid, platform puzzle game, where you can go back in time. And stream paused because you minimized the application. Okay, right. Yes.
Right.
So this is super hot.
Yes.
I guess most people know that. It's so popular. And you don't like it, right? You thought it's kind of...
I played it a bit and I got kind of bored quickly. So it's one of these that to me look cool, and it looks like something that's an exciting idea, and that you see everywhere. Like I don't know how many years I've seen that at a maze. Well,
yeah,
both I've been. But I was kind of bored, to be honest. What I was more excited about is that they did sort of a text-based roguelike. I don't know if you remember that, like Super Hot, but with...
Yeah, it was on a maze, right? They had Super Hot.
It actually is it like ASCII. No, it was simpler than that. It was really you had an O when it was just an enemy. It turned into an at when they loaded their gun, and then they would shoot. So that was sort of the... But I think that was a super early, or a joke prototype or something like that. And it doesn't seem like you can really find that. Is that I'm more excited about, because it's just weird. But yeah, I guess I got a bit bored of it. That the puzzles in the end weren't that exciting to me, I suppose.
Well, I only played it in a maze, I think. And I liked it quite a bit, but I think it's more or less always the same puzzle, right? And I think it could be fun for people like me who get frustrated if the puzzles change too much. And I don't know how to continue, because I always know what to do in Super Hot.
I guess that was the thing that I also got frustrated with it. Like that when I had to repeat a level 5 times until I figured out how to beat everyone without dying. I don't know. Well, it was one that I was super excited when I first heard about it. Was that not while we were still studying or something, that the first prototypes or something?
Okay, let's have some fun. Suggest to search for Pico Hot.
Pico Hot?
Maybe that's what you...
Ooh. Oh, a D-make. That's nice.
Cool.
Somehow it's loading slowly today.
Nice. That's cool. It's from the Pico Game Jam, I guess. Pico 8 Game Jam. Which we should join someday as well.
Yeah, we definitely need to jam more.
Yeah.
So
at least we are talking about it a lot. Okay, sorry. Next game would be Braid. Yeah.
And of course that came up when thinking about it, but
I mean, it's also super R. No, it's not.
What is this? It's a movie.
Oh, that looks interesting too.
Yes, I think everybody knows Braid. It's
I played it a bunch too. Yeah. For a while, that was one of the darling indie games.
Yeah.
And I never finished it. I got frustrated. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I remembered that, and so I came up with something else. Because as much as I enjoy seeing you struggle, I figured maybe I'll rather watch you play something that I'm actually excited for you to check out.
Yeah. So the next thing that's not kind of fitting. Oh no, well, let's go with the fitting one that you might be suggestion to me, which would be, of course, your favorite Prince of Persia, where you get to get back in time, like Braid.
Also thought about it, yes.
Okay. Then I shortly thought about Into the Breach, because you travel back in time. But
that is free on Epic right now, by the way.
Yeah, true. I selected Super Time Force Ultra.
Super Time Force Ultra.
Yeah.
Let's see what that is. Super Time Force.
Look that up.
Was ist?
So it's very funny. Is that the right one? Yeah. It's a fun action platformer, kind of like Contra, which is really, really fun of itself.
Is this like Adventure Time related?
No. But I guess maybe the artists from the trailer are the same. But the gameplay is pixel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they I think you can go for gameplay trailer maybe. So the fun with this game is you are also like sent back in time, I think, or come from the future, whatever you want to look at it, and you have to fight your way through these levels. And I think if you die, you get to restart the level, but you are still in there with your first character. So you fight additionally to your character. And if you can prevent the death of your character, you will get some special thingy, some bonus. And yeah, I think you can like play with different characters as well. So you can like go forward with like the shieldy guy, Shielderson, or whoever his name is, and just block everything. And then you can select the sniper lady, Amy. They have also great names. Yeah, it really sounded like great. I already gifted this game to a friend of mine because I thought you could play it co-op, but you can't, unfortunately.
Gifted for nothing.
Yeah. And he couldn't really play it because he's got problems with his eyes, and it's very hectic. Like Hotel Miami hectic.
Yeah.
But I remember you liked that one, so
I do.
Hopefully you will enjoy that one too.
Well, it looks like it's not my type of game, so that should be interesting.
Sorry.
Well, I guess it goes both ways. Because of course I also have something that is not your type of game, I think. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes.
We talked about it recently. I even told you about the time travel in it. Do you remember? Solving puzzle across time? That's another puzzle game.
Day of the Tentacle.
Yes!
Nice.
Since you have not played that, and that's why I'm saying, don't just play an hour Thursday evening. Play it. I want to see you play that.
Okay.
So that's a classic, of course. Tim Schafer. Day of the Tentacle. There is a remastered one now, so you can even play it in like pretty.
I think I have it in Scum4M. Right, I saw the remaster. I'm not sure if I'm happy with this graphical style. I mean, it's obviously fitting, but I don't know. I like the pixel. I just love pixel graphics.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I played remastered from all these old games is Grim Fandango, and that's mostly because all it does is like make the 3D models a little less pixely. But it's really the only difference, and so I do that. But this one is really nice, and it's basically the same, just a little more pixelated, and I feel like that still looks really good. So yes, this is mine. Cool. So,
wait, let me add this to my to-do so I don't forget.
Do that.
In the day of the Tentacle. Very nice. Yeah, I wanted to play this game for a long time, so
very
this
nice.
one's great.
So I guess we'll just quickly generate the next voting.
Yes.
Ones, which are gonna be what? Let's see what the theme. Why are you being loud?
Let's do it like last time, right? So you pick one, I pick one, and chat picks the last one.
Yes. Okay, chat. Oh, there's non-Euclidean again. So we pick 3, and then out of the 3, people can vote for a week. Yeah. What would I like?
I have one.
I have 2. Which one do you have?
Secretly horror, because I know the game I want you to play for this.
Oh, interesting.
Although maybe that's even. Oh no, well, is it still secretly horror if you know it was picked because of the theme?
I mean, this is like a game jam theme, right? It doesn't have to be like exactly just anything you think of, right?
Yeah. Could just be horror in my mind, right?
Yeah. Okay, then I think I'm gonna go with Saving for a Rainy Day. The other one was loops, but I don't think, like, I already couldn't think of a looping one for time, and it's always the same. So, Saving for a Rainy Day it is.
All right, chat. First one gets it. Play the villain. It is.
Play the villain.
Because we can't really do voting in chat, I think.
Well, we have a.
But Play the Villain is cool too. I have a game in mind as well for Play the Villain.
Secretly horror and saving. Okay.
Playing the villain is like 50% of all shooter games, at least. If you really think about them, it's 90% to 99%.
So picking one there could also be a statement, basically.
Yes. Like the new Call of Duty.
Yeah. All right. Very nice. I guess this brings us to the end of our reverse game jam kind of section.
No, you didn't have a title there, or did you?
It's here, but it's not in the browser view. And yeah. So we finish this one, and we switch. We switch over to our. Is this our main topic usually? I guess.
The main topic for today.
I guess it's gonna keep switching. What is best and worst sequels? Dun dun dun. So best and worst sequels. I hear you have a list.
I have a list, as always. I have a list. I have a list for everything. You know that.
Yes. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm gonna wing it. Well, I have my couple. Best.
You can just Google best worst game sequel.
I mean, I feel like half
top 10 lists.
I mean, half of my favorite games are sequels, so I feel like I'm gonna list them again when we talk about our favorite games. I'm gonna talk about the same games a lot, I think, in the topics we have in our generator.
Yeah, I kind of This was a bit hard because for me as well, like the most sequels I can think of are just like the greatest part in the series. There's some outliers, but I think I've steered clear of most bad sequels. I just didn't play them because I think I'm really cautious of sequels in general, like movies as well. I always assume they are going to be bad, so I just play them when they were really good and yeah. So not a lot of bad ones. So let's start with the best. Want to go one-on-one?
Sure.
So my first one is, of course, Baldur's Gate 2. I mean, this is a game that's so good that people talking about Baldur's Gate usually are talking about Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone still plays Baldur's Gate 1. Baldur's Gate 1, except if they want to have a character to go into Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate 1 is fine. I haven't played it to the end, so maybe it gets better, but the start is like atrocious. Very cliche, but I guess it's an old game, so can't really fault it for that. But Baldur's Gate 2 was so many good memories. Like, nostalgia isn't even the right word for that. It's like it's more than that. It feels. I remember like playing it at home. I still know where my desktop was back then, how my room looked, and how it felt playing it, and it was just so great, so immersive, despite its really lo-fi pixel graphics. Yeah. So that would be my best sequel pick number 1.
Okay. Okay, then I'm also gonna start with an old one. And I'm gonna name 2 because they're from the same series. And you probably already know what it is. Monkey Island 2 and 3.
Right.
Need I even say much? It's such a... These games are both among my favorite games. I have a lot because it's kind of hard to like compare sometimes. They're obviously quite different games, but Monkey Island 2 is one of those games. I don't know. It feels so perfect to me. The third one also. And I too have memories of that from being very, very little and seeing it at a friend's birthday party who got it. We all, all of us standing around the computer and just watching him play. And oh man, there was so much cool stuff in there. Like in the first little town where you try to become a chef, so you earn some money, so you can pay the boat guy, the ferry guy, and you have to catch a rat to put that into at least in a difficult version, then slip into the kitchen through the window, put it into this soup that he's cooking. When you ask the guy outside for soup, he goes to check it, finds the rat and kicks him out, and then you get it. And then the mean little Largo guy who comes in and he spits on the wall, and he used that to make a voodoo doll and stuff like that. And the swamp, the swamp. I mean, I guess that's probably a little bit questionable in terms of cultural representation and stuff. But yeah, from back then, it's like these are really deeply finding the map pieces. Like I have the map pieces still look to me almost delicious. I don't know what it is. It's like the yellow-y thing of like these old map pieces, and somehow they look just tasty almost. And yeah, it's such a good game. I love it so much. I love the green LeChuck. That's like my favorite LeChuck. And yeah, amazing game. And then of course the third, also great. The graphics I still love. I wish they would make a HD remaster, because I feel like they probably, like, they still have the drawings, right? They might just need to scan it with higher resolution or something, and then bam, you have
age it up.
Yeah. But it is so great. I love it. I love the soundtrack. Like every time it starts and you have the map and you see kind of in the corners like the blue of the ocean come up, and the soundtrack builds and then it flies away and you see the island and everything about that. Oh, such a good game.
Okay, yes. Two things. First, Vendisil. Baldur's Gate 2. Is this an honest mistake, or are you making fun of my pronunciation? Because I would get if you're making fun of it. I would still be angry at you. And secondly, so best sequel. I thought about it in terms of what makes it a good sequel, because Monkey Island 1 is already just, for me, the greatest, personally. So is Monkey Island 2 better than 1?
For me, I feel 100%, yes.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't make my list. So because I'm just in love with part 1, but exactly for the same reasons as you are, like same reasons why I love Baldur's Gate. I I got Monkey Island 1 with a bunch of others on CD for Christmas. And I also remember like sitting on the chair with my friends, and we all tried to solve the riddles. And I know Monkey Island 1 especially was such a treat because it wasn't clearly humor. It seemed, at least at first, it seems kind of serious about the world and all this stuff, but then it goes in this comical way every time, and this was like such a weird and great and tasty mix for me. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if we will get through all of them. So, but in the same vein, so we can do this quickly. I did not pick. It's still on my list, but I didn't really pick Diablo 2 because I love Diablo 1 so much that Diablo 2 was great as well. But I still like Diablo 1 more.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was wondering about. No, that's it, I think. Yeah. So a lot of the old games, if you really think about it, had this like this great trajectory of becoming better and better. Like Quake 1 was great, Quake 2 was better, Quake 3 was even better, but then that's kind of the breaking point for me. The Quake 4, was it Quake 4? I don't know. Maybe it sounded had a different name, but I don't know. Wasn't that great anymore? Unreal was great. I remember like getting up at 4 in the morning to play it before school. Then Unreal Tournament, way better. And then the new Unreals that came after that, like Unreal Tournament 2000 or something like that, kind of felt wonky, kind of didn't have the same feel anymore, didn't do it. Let me just tick off a couple more, right? So the GTA series.
Yes.
GTA 1, great game. GTA 2, I think it was better. I don't really remember. I haven't played it.
No, I didn't like that as much.
GTA 3 was great. San Andreas was even better.
Vice City is the best.
City, yeah, of course. And then I don't know, GTA 5. I haven't played it, but apparently it's quite good. Like people love it.
Yeah, but somehow I don't see this as part of the same series anymore. I don't know. I would not. It's sort of how I was also thinking. Should I consider Skyrim a sequel?
Yeah, that's on my list too.
And I guess
So
technically
Skyrim,
it is, but yeah, obviously Skyrim is an amazing game. So
I mean, Arena was the first one, like the Elder Scrolls Arena.
yeah,
Daggerfall was. I haven't played Arena or Daggerfall, but they both, I think,
I played Arena a little bit,
became better.
It's impressive what they built back then. I'm actually really, because you have all the world, not just like just Skyrim. You have everything, and apparently you can walk everywhere. So I think it's pretty empty mostly, but still, it's for when did this come out? Like Arena, Elder Scrolls, yes, came out in '94. So that. Yeah, I found that mind-blowing, but by itself I didn't find the game interesting, so I didn't play it very far. It's like a very rudimentary version of it, so I mean, understandably so, but that doesn't make it more fun to go back to.
Was there a game between Daggerfall and Oblivion?
Morrowind.
Morrowind, of course. Yeah. Morrowind. So Daggerfall, then Morrowind, then came Oblivion. So I know I think most people consider Oblivion to be better than Morrowind. I know there are some hardcore fans who disagree. I hope Friedrich isn't in the chat. I started playing with Oblivion, and I really loved Oblivion. And then Skyrim came out, and I was really cautious again. I didn't want to pay full price. I thought like maybe it's a fad, but I really loved Skyrim. So yeah, that'd be another one. So do you have more good
Me?
6.
Yes.
Okay, then you go. Yeah, I still have a couple.
As you mentioned earlier, the Prince of Persia series. Wenzel says, I also have to disagree. Oblivion was the one game in the series I did not really like and play it. I tried to play it a little bit, but I quit after the first dungeon. And Morrowind I tried to play for a while, but I didn't really get into it, I guess. I actually played it a couple hours. I got like 3 cities over and tried to get into a guild or whatever. I don't remember. But it all looked so... I feel like the game doesn't have... Okay, no, it's probably not fair to say it doesn't have personality, but it feels empty somehow. And the character's very not character-y. So like they're just there to say the line they have to say. It's not... I don't know, it doesn't feel like a really good RPG yet. And I guess it's also very old, so fair enough. If I played it back then, maybe, but I only played it a couple years ago to try it and did not love it much. But Skyrim is great for sure.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with the expectations you come in with these games.
Yeah, probably.
Like back in the day when they came out, they just blew the expectations of people out of the water. And now you come back with all these expectations you've gathered from all the new games. And you see it in the game or you don't see it, and you kind of... You're more disappointed than you're really impressed.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of... Oh, actually it came out a year after Gothic. So I was expecting Gothic, you know? Like, obviously different in controls and stuff, but at least... Because I was just thinking, okay, it's an old game, but actually if Gothic managed to be a really good game, a really good RPG, you know, then yeah, I guess I wanted more from Morrowind. Or maybe I have to play it longer. Maybe this is like the first period, and only if you do this and that. I don't know.
I think like similar to Skyrim, all these open world games, I think you have to be like in the mood and like excited to explore the world. And if you don't have that, the game doesn't really help you to get into the state of mind. You have to bring this with you.
I guess no, because I just remember it feeling really dead to me, being in this other town, and I don't know what that is exactly. That's something that Gothic never felt to me. It always felt very... It's obviously a smaller area, I guess, but it was lots of personality. Artificial.
Yeah, I think like Oblivion always felt artificial to me, but not in a bad way. It's still like interesting to interact and walk around and stuff.
Yeah. But yes, Prince of Persia. I do love from the Sense of Time trilogy, the Warrior Within. That is such an awesome game. Crazy sexist, of course, but it's just such fun. But then the sequel to that trilogy, the Prince of Persia 2008, the cel-shaded one. Maybe I can bring that up quickly. That's always... I find it so dumb that they did not give this at least a subtitle. I mean, I kind of get why they don't... Well, why they at some point say they're gonna not use numbers anymore, so that people don't feel like, if I haven't played the first one, I can't buy this type of thing. But it just makes it hard to talk about. You say Prince of Persia, and it sounds like the series, you know?
Yeah.
But this one, it's beautifully cel-shaded, has a great soundtrack. I love how sunny everything is. That's not a grimdark game, just a really pretty game, and I really like...
when did this come out?
2008.
Yeah, and it looks just... I think it looks pretty timeless, right?
Yeah, those comic-y ones, they always seem to like kind of look cool. I mean, it's hyper-realism that dates, right?
Yeah.
And I also really loved... Like, this is really, design-wise, one of my favorite games. I love the companion. We talked about this recently, I think, but maybe privately. I love, like, this little character interactions. That stuff where you don't want her getting in the way, that she just hangs on to you. And also when you're like try to walk past each other on like a tight ledge.
Right.
Then they grab their hands and like twirl a little bit, or when she falls down where he's standing, he catches her and things like that. Those are really neat details. But design-wise, I just like how this game just streamlines the reward-punishment process, that you don't have to die and press load to get back, but that she, through her magic, saves you and pulls you back to the last checkpoint, basically, to the last safe position. And I remember so many people, like hardcore gamers, being so up in arms about that, like, oh, this game is too easy, you can't even die. And it's like, this is the exact same mechanic, it just happens faster, you know? So you never get to this thing of, oh, now it's over, you're always in play, you know? You just try over. Oh, you fucked up? Yeah. Just try again. Same thing as if I click load and try again. Clicking load is not why I play games or why failing is annoying, you know?
Yeah, but up to that point, that was just like an accepted thing that games do. And then people were thinking of like, do we have to die anymore? And then games try to come up with different solutions. And I think,
nice.
Of course, this one is a perfect solution for that. And
yeah,
people who are used to loading got upset, probably because it's
where's my loading?
It's a woman who saves you.
Yeah, probably. That's probably the main problem here. Yeah. But yes, I love this game. I would say this is a perfect game. I love it. I've replayed it more times than I can count. It's just, this is my number one comfort game. It's like easy gameplay. I also love how they did handle it in the fights, because you also can't die in the fights if you don't have a health bar or anything. The enemy has a health bar, but when you get hit, you get 3 hits or something, and the corners, get a little bit more, like, get these red sort of, ooh, you're hurt. And if it goes too far, then she saves you, but that gives energy back to the enemy. And so basically when you don't die, the enemy gets recharged. And so it's the same thing again. It's like starting over, or like almost starting over, because it doesn't recharge fully necessarily. But the fight just takes longer. So if you mess up, then it takes longer. The same way as if you died, it would take longer. So I like how they basically just streamlined the part of this mechanic, of the punishment mechanic, that is not necessary.
Well, streamlined, or I mean, they keep the flow of the game intact with getting rid of the loading screen and stuff.
I mean, the punishment is having to try it again. How you get there, if you have to go into a menu and click a couple buttons, I don't know if that is really why that works, So I like that they found a different solution, something innovative, basically. Because every game, it's always collect some stuff or die. And that's the punishment reward mechanic. And it's just, nice. In the end, the boss fights I also really liked. It's like 4... Well, the story is basically that her father released an ancient god, or it's in the process of breaking out of like a really huge, imposing tree. I don't know if you can see that somewhere. But you basically try to stop the god from breaking out by healing all the healing grounds. That's what these things here are. And he has like 4 main minions he sends, and they have all personality, and you fight them multiple times through different stages. And there's different mechanics. Like, I think this one you beat normally, but there's a like really huge one. You always have to push into something. That something breaks down across them. And so it's not the hardest game in the world, probably, but it is a very well-designed...
Why do need games be hard? I mean...
I don't know either. I just have a good time when I play this.
Like the dying mechanic and the being hard mechanic, they are all due to the fact that you had to put in coins when games started to continue playing. That's where that comes from. And so I get, if you want to have a hard game, like Dark Souls, for example, that's fair but hard.
Or the Wizard.
Or the Wizard, yeah. But if you learn how these games work, they are not that hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't get why you need to make games hard.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that was a huge detour, but I really love this game. What do you got?
Well, Venesil said in chat, so we don't forget. Disappointing sequels, Gothic. I don't know if that's on your list. I thought about it.
Now that you mention it, yes, I was only thinking about good sequels mostly, but yes, I did not. Yeah. I guess it's not the worst. I just didn't enjoy it that much. The balancing is just terrible.
It's just not Gothic 1. Gothic 1 was so great, and Gothic 2 was still good.
It was good. It was good.
But I don't know, I'm not really the right person to ask, because I did enjoy Gothic 3. And you really have to put effort into enjoy Gothic 3. And I did, and I do enjoy it, or I did enjoy it.
I am very interested in it. I will have to find the will to play it some more, because I am super curious about it. I just I want to like it.
Yeah. But back to the good ones, right?
Yes.
So Divinity Original Sin. I think it. So. I didn't play a lot of Divinity, so the first one, and not Divinity Original Sin, but the Divinity. And I do wonder if there were even 2 Divinities before Original Sin, but they were proper RPGs, not great, but kind of good. I remember my brother played them and had a lot of fun. But Divinity Original Sin is such a gem. I mean, it's what it gives players is incredible, because this is a huge RPG, lots of content, really so many ways to play, like the game, like the good old RPGs you love. And then you can play it co-op, and you can play it co-op on you can play it on split screen, and you can play it via LAN, and you can play it. It's just, I don't know. It came kind of out of nothing. I mean, nobody really expected Divinity Original Sin to be so good, I don't think. So, yeah. And as I've heard, like, Divinity Original Sin 2 is even better, or at least as good as the Original Sin 1. Looking forward to it, but I have to finish the first one. Playing with my brother, we started in split screen, and now that I'm living in Leipzig again, we will continue playing it over LAN or over internet. I mean, what company does that? I mean, it's seldom enough that people let you play over the internet or over LAN, but split screen as well. And then you can play, you can like start split screen and then play the rest over internet.
Sounds good.
Just, yeah. Half-Life 2. I like Half-Life 1. Half-Life 2 is a great sequel.
Haven't played it.
I'm not really. Yeah.
But Portal 2 is an awesome sequel.
Well, Portal 1 was great.
Portal 2 was better. Much better.
So.
Much better.
No, I played both and I loved both. And
Portal 1 was really good, but I feel like Portal 2 expanded on everything that did and did it better. You know? They added a whole bunch of new mechanics. They've added, a story that is... I feel like the first one didn't have much of a story. It had the basic setup, but then the second one with Wesley, was his name? The little guy who then takes over when then you're in the basement with the potato with Gladys on it. It's such a great game.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean the credit song in the first one is obviously better, but that's hard to beat.
Yeah,
even the same guy couldn't do it.
Okay, then I've got 2 series that are a bit of hit and miss. I want to bring on, and then it's just bad sequels, or not good sequels at least. So first one is Heroes of Might and Magic, and I think we can just mash that together with Civilization. So Heroes of Might and Magic 1 I haven't played. I don't know about 2. I think 3 or 4 is supposed to be the greatest one. And it was always like a back and forth with this series. Like, new game always meant like less creatures, less factions, less options, but like better graphics or something else. For me, what I played the most, I think, is Heroes of Might and Magic 5. I think 3 was supposedly the best if you asked most people who played them a lot. And I played 3 and 4 quite a bit with my friends when back in the day. But then 5 came out, and I got 5 for cheap somewhere with the expansions. And I've played this game so much. It was like the game I played with my then girlfriend. And like each game is, I don't know, like 20 hours or so. And you can play hot seat. I love to play games in hot seat. Back in the day when split screen wasn't really something you could do. Yeah. So that's a weird series, and Civilization is similar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I really remember or distinguish. Haven't really played much of them. And 5 again, I played a bunch and loved. And 6 is the newest one, and I'm interested because I know about the designer now, and he really had a couple of cool ideas, but they really simplified a lot of things and like removed kind of a lot of stuff as well. And that upset players, of course. They always hate it if you take something from them, even if they don't use it, or if they are confused by it, or
of course
annoyed in all actuality. But that was really that's a weird series that really has like every second game is great or something like that.
Okay,
so your turn.
Okay, also an old one, Tomb Raider 2.
Tomb Raider 2, yeah.
Original Tomb Raider 2.
Well, I haven't played any Tomb Raider, so tell me.
It's also one of those that's like just like the opening level is you're in a cave and you're trying to crawl up and there's a tiger somewhere. And wait, maybe I can show you. Tomb Raider 2. Let's have a look if I can find the image I'm talking about. Ooh, and then the stuff in Venice and everything, and the... Okay, wait, let me share the screen. Where is it? Okay, so I don't know if you... Have you played this?
No, I haven't played any.
No, not at all.
Never played any Tomb Raider.
Well, this... Like the first course that you do sort of as a training to learn all the mechanics. It's like a separate thing. But, well, first of all, there was a lot of fun figuring out how everything works. But then part of what was funny is that you have this butler who just runs after you the entire time. And he doesn't stop. But inside your house, there's a fridge that is closed with a door. And so I think something that everybody's done who played this game is try to trap the butler in the fridge so he stops following you. And yeah, so iconic. Like I got this, I was probably 8, 9.
That's the Lara Croft I have in mind. If someone says Lara Croft, that's the picture I have.
Yes. And
not that there's anything wrong with the new one, so I don't need the big boobs, just to be clear here. Just,
well, Oh, and so I got this.
I'm not complaining either. But
yes, this is the Venice level where you then ride around in a boat, and it's all very exciting. And there's a timed thing where you open a door and then you have to race to get in there. And so, it's somehow this game, the enemies felt really scary to me, like because sometimes they just come out of nowhere. I don't know. Sometimes you walk through a house, right, and then suddenly through a door comes running an enemy, and they look kind of threatening. Right, let me see if I can. Enemies. So yes, they look weird, like with this overly muscly kind of brawler. There's some who look kind of like skinheads, but like even the monks and stuff, like they're so ridiculously jacked. And they just.
I guess that explains the breast size.
Oh yeah, these guys, and yeah, they just come running and they're kind of quiet about it, I guess. And they just start beating you, and I always found that very scary. And wait, let me see if I can find the cave. Yes, very first level, right, where you look up and I don't know. It's so that is a game that I played before school. So this was
the one where there's this gif from where she jumps and then lands on the floor.
And then?
That's it.
I don't know. Well, this had... well, if you jump too high, you would obviously die. But what I really liked also was kind of figuring out that you can... Like, if you held a certain combination, so that's like... Oh, yeah, there's a tiger, and that was one of the first... It just spawned sort of behind you. That was one of the first things you had to like kill. Somehow the enemies felt really threatening.
Sorry, I gotta.
Sorry.
Gonna send you the URL.
Okay. Let's see.
That always like cracked me up.
Oh, but that looks newer. I don't. The way she falls that's too animated. Like she falls on her head here. I don't know if I can open this.
Let people see.
But how?
You just open it. That's like in your browser. That's just a GIF. Just a URL.
Okay, wait.
I think right click.
Yeah. So that's definitely a more modern than, because she would not react like this.
That was just like this perfect jump into
but yeah,
the ragdoll.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't have much of a ragdoll. She would just kind of, fall to her side. But this jump, this dive is certainly something that was fun to figure out and do. But also if you did the same combination of keys while going up a ledge, she would like pull herself up and go into a handstand. And so like things like that were just super fun to play around with.
Unnecessary athleticism. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like these light. Just like it gives character to the person.
Yeah, it's just
like the most obvious thing they would do.
And I would do that at every ledge, so it's kind of fun. So yes, that is a really good one.
Steal that great jump, maybe.
I guess it's just fun to do the eagle.
Yeah.
So right. I think that's the good ones I can think about. Yeah. Maybe we should, if we have a topic with that many, maybe we should do a top 10 or something. So there's the excitement of numbers. The internet likes lists and numbers.
Right. Next time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I only have like 2 bad sequels, and I think both are kind of arguable. So
okay.
Then Dungeon Keeper 1, loved. I played a bunch of Dungeon Keeper 2 as well. but it was just like a buggy game, and you couldn't slap the chickens anymore. I was really upset about that. And I don't know. It was a disappointment, but it was like, it looked better. It seemed to be bigger, but it just didn't work. Maybe like Gothic 2, Dungeon Keeper 2 was over ambitious, or just couldn't like do what they did with Dungeon Keeper 1, with the new 3D look.
Was that more of a third-person role-playing game or something?
No. It's a god game. You
Maybe I think of something else.
One, and you select which tunnels should be dug up by the creatures that are in your dungeon, and then regularly there would be a group of heroes who would try to get into your dungeon. Then you need to get all your like hard-hitting monster creatures together to fight the heroes. And if they would find a way to the dungeon heart, I think it was in both games, they would like kill you, but you would be like basically the dungeon.
Yeah, I'm probably mixing it up. I don't think I've ever played it, but I saw it from a gaming magazine back then. Yeah, probably mixing it up with another one. I do remember the weird dominatrix from the cover.
Yes. And the horny, which is the devil guy. Not sure if that's just a German name. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the first of the bad sequels I've got. What do you got?
In terms of bad sequels, so I think I have a similar problem that I can't really think of many sequels in general. I absolutely despise Monkey Island 4. It was very, very bad. I have not played the Telltale Monkey Island. I tried, but I quit after 5 minutes. So I don't know if it's good or not. Didn't feel good to play, so I don't care for that. But actually the one that I can think of where I was really excited to play more, it's a DLC. It's not exactly a sequel, so I don't know if that counts. It's like half a sequel, and that is...
I kind of to do it as to limited even on just sequels that are really just part 2, more or less, because I really didn't want to think about all the games and what sequel they are. So like there are all these spiritual successors and all that stuff, so it gets really confusing.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about the final station.
Okay.
You know it?
Yeah, I played the final station. I didn't finish it, but it was quite fun.
I actually really love that game.
Stressful.
You mean the resource management in between?
Yeah. And yeah, I think like when I realized that I will probably not be able to get everyone through on the train, I didn't start again.
Yeah, I figured that you would dislike that.
Yeah.
I didn't mind so much. I basically let some people die and eventually figured out, it's actually not so. But yeah, so this is the game. I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. And so the storyline ends in this game. And the DLC is basically the story of another person who then intersects with this one later. So I'm just going to count this as a sequel. Because this one I loved so much. It was such a fun game. And then the DLC was so bad. Like, I'm trying to remember what all the things are that I hated about it, but for one, I think the levels felt really... Well, I think in this one, if you died, there were some nice checkpoints so that you didn't have to do everything over again. And the other one, the checkpoints were kind of shitty. And sometimes the level would like sprawl in like 2 different directions suddenly, so that you have to do a lot of backtracking, and then I think the worst part for me was in this one, the character doesn't talk at all. I think people even comment on it that the character doesn't talk, but it's good, because in the other one, he comments the entire time in his head, and you always get these little speech bubbles, and the writing is just awful. It's legitimately terrible, and so I bought this DLC, played it, and this was the first time where I wanted to refund something, but I had left the game open in between, so I got over the 2 hours and I couldn't give it back. Even though it didn't even take 2 hours to play through.
Oh man.
So I wasted $5 or something on that. But yeah, that was one of the hardest turns I've ever seen. Like an amazing first game, and then the expansion on it is so bad. I was legitimately mad about it. Like I don't try to be. I like to be not too negative on other people's work, but I don't know.
Especially like the small indie stuff, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, that took everything away that I liked about the game and made it worse, and so now I don't like the one before that either. No, it's still fun. I still would like to play it again. I'm also just very intrigued by the concept of. I mean, it's kind of post-apocalyptic, but you ride around on a train. It's sort of Snowpiercer a bit, and I like that. I like these sort of things that are, yeah. So, yeah, this would be my pick. It's also the freshest wound. I've played Monkey Island 4 ages ago, so I'm not mad about it anymore, but...
Right. I just remembered we kind of glossed over like one series we should probably at least mention, Fallout. So Fallout 1, Fallout 2, we haven't played them, so we can't really talk about those.
I only played 3, so I don't know anything.
Yeah. So I liked 3, but obviously that's really flawed, especially if you play the game as the game wants you to play it, or at least like the main story. The rest is fine. It's a lot of fun. Then you had like New Vegas. Was that the next one?
I think so.
Apparently is better, but I haven't really played that either. And then did you have like, was there Fallout 4 even? And then this
that was
Fallout 76. I think that Fallout 76 is when I googled for worst sequels was like the top game in most of those lists.
Definitely, yeah. That seems like such a shit show. I'm really amazed how for over a year, there was every week there was something new that was shit about that game and what they did terribly in handling it, and then wanting a $100 seasoning. Now I'm already seasoning pass because of Pepper Prince, but season pass and stuff like that.
I mean, this also says like Fallout 1 and 2 are great and like them a lot more than the 3D sequels. Yeah, I've heard it a lot. I still think I want to try Fallout 1 and 2.
I tried it once, but I have the same problem as with Arcanum, that I play this until the first city and then I just stop playing it.
That's true. I'm gonna play Arcanum first.
But yeah, I've only played 3. I liked it a lot, and I was for a long time confused what people dislike about it. But now I've seen enough video essays about how it fails that I kind of get it. And I've never had the urge to replay it, so I guess I enjoyed it. The part that I did really love was Tranquility Lane, though. Do you remember that?
That's great.
That is that's still something I think about a lot. I love that so much. That was a really, really cool mission. Yeah. Surprisingly cool.
Yeah, but so the last thing I've got on my list is The Witcher 2.
Oh, so that's bad?
Well, I can't really tell you. Okay. Because I have not gotten far enough into the game to really judge it, but it starts off so bad. Just it's got this very long-winded cut scene, and man, I don't know. It just it just everything I love about The Witcher is being like this cool mutant fantasy dude who can cast spells and has to fight monsters and gets into this intrigues but solves them interestingly. And I love The Witcher 1. I bought that full price. It's one of the few games I really have as a physical game here. And then part 2, I was excited, but then I heard a lot of bad stuff about it. And when I finally got it, yeah, I just couldn't start it. Just couldn't get through. You start with like being tortured by some city guy, and you're like very, I don't care. And then you get to someone else to talk with them, and I don't know. I mean, I read the books. I even watched part of one of the TV series they made about them. Couldn't get through the start, and that's enough for me to declare The Witcher 2 to be the worst sequel I've tried to play. And 3 again is great. I haven't finished that either, but it's at least as good as the first one. Probably better, but I think it's just too big for me. But anyway, Witcher 2, I don't.
That reminds me of, I really love Assassin's Creed 2. Hated the first. Hated it. Heinous game. So terrible. You do the exact... You have like 8 cities, and in each city you do the exact same missions. And that's all you do in this game. I hate it so much. But the second one, that was so great. And then the third one is so boring. I wanted to slog my way through it, like to play the series through. I'm really curious about Black Flag, but I have the feeling I have to finish 3 first. But it's so tedious, and I'm so not into it.
I have to finish the other one.
I know there's nobody literally forcing me, but I want to.
Have to. I've heard that that's really not necessary.
No, it's Ezio's storyline is completed after. There's one between 2 and 3. There's like Brotherhood or something.
All right, that was there as well.
It's a bit weird. I know it's not necessary. I just have this thing where I just want to.
Is Black Flag for PC?
They're all on PC. Yeah.
All right. But not on Steam, or are they on Steam?
I have them all on Steam. I have most of them on Steam, not the new ones.
I have a couple of them too. I remember like playing the first one and being like not really playing it, but like playing the start of the game, just getting a feel for it, and kind of enjoying it. I remember that it was like you've seen so much Assassin's Creed, and then you start the game and you're like in the future.
That is weird.
You have to get through all that. That's even worse than a cutscene. Before you get to play the game, you were sold. It was literally the weirdest. I mean,
I don't like the story, to be honest. It's also unnecessary in the second one. It's a little bit of a letdown in the end, but I do like I guess it's because you kind of take over a little town. You can start like, spending money to like build shops and stuff like that. You can basically upgrade your city to have more merchants that you can buy from at a discount and things like that. So it's
I love that.
I love things like that.
Yeah. I think it really plays to like our need as humans to build stuff and to progress.
And I guess if we're talking about big franchises, I loved Hitman Blood Money. I also loved Hitman Absolution, but I think Blood Money is the better game. And of course,
was the nun controversy, right?
Yes, which is also a great mission, by the way, the one with the nuns. It has a couple of like really good ones that just feel super satisfying to figure out and like find the perfect path through and stuff. But of course, Mass Effect 3. I'm gonna, say it again for the record that I am fully on board with what they were doing. I love it. I love the whole series. I mean, the original trilogy, I guess, because I haven't played Andromeda.
How do you feel about 2? Yeah, Andromeda also, like a lot of lists, like 2 top 3 of worst sequels is Andromeda. But I thought, like, I really loved Mass Effect 1, and I was disappointed from 2. You had to really get me going to even finish the game. And I'd love to play 3, but it's not on Steam, and I won't install Origin or whatever you need for that.
I actually got Origin for that, yeah. It's 2 is my least favorite. I still love it, but it's for sure my least favorite of the series. So I do think I would probably rank it 1, 3, 2. Yeah. 1 is such a perfect game. It's almost rude.
Yeah.
How dare they make such a good game? Like 2 has a lot of stuff I like, but something about it felt a little bit more. Maybe it's so in the first one you can walk everywhere. And I know a lot of people complained about that you stand in elevators for a long time or whatever, but I like that. Everything feels rooted in something real, sort of. You know where everything is, everything makes sort of sense. And in 2, you have a lot of, it feels sectioned off. Like you can't even walk around the entire citadel at some points. I mean, I guess you can walk through big parts, but I think at some point you have to take the rapid transit system to go to another space, and it feels more like sectioned off levels. Also in your spaceship, you go from level to level through a loading screen, and I think that kind of didn't feel as exciting as the first one, where everything is just there and it's connected and it feels so real. I also feel that, or was it the third one that had a couple annoying characters? No, I did like the second one a lot. It has this really fascinating. I mean, all of these have this urgency to them. It's okay, yeah. Jana is just, or maybe Friedrich is just saying, I like standing in a train for a long time, especially in Half-Life's intro. Yeah, fair enough.
I liked that in the first Mass Effect too.
Yes, Friedrich.
The loading screens, I felt like, especially with the chit chat they had, and really it had this atmosphere and it built this immersive world that really you had to stand in an elevator sometimes, and that's just how it is.
Yeah,
I like that.
I also didn't mind. By the way, I also didn't mind the Half-Life intro the one time that I played it. I guess that's why I forgot.
Yeah, try again.
But yeah, the second one has a bunch of really interesting characters. You get to know some of your previous characters a little bit better. And this urgency, of course, I feel like we talked about that a million times already, but I really like how everything you do, you always have the sense of, but I have to really keep going with the main mission, otherwise these people are gonna die, sort of a thing. Which I didn't have in Fallout. In Fallout I just ran around, tried to do sort of on my own accord, like do a couple side missions, then do a couple of main missions and accidentally finish the game at some point. But I didn't ever feel like, or Skyrim, I never feel like, ooh, the dragons are a real urgent threat. I can just run around from the little dungeon to the next one and do nothing. Yeah. While in Mass Effect something, and I don't know what it is because I would love to recreate it if we ever do an RPG, this feeling of, yeah, but really there's something else going on that I need to deal with. Those villagers, they have been captured. They might be turned into goo to go into a whatever. And
yeah, that's true. Really, Mass Effect 1 was the only game I have experienced something like that, where I really skipped side quests because I thought that's not important enough right now. I've never done that in a game before or after.
And that's, I guess I'll have to play again to figure out what that is exactly.
But I have to say, I like it in Skyrim. I don't want to do main missions. So.
Oh no,
it doesn't feel urgent. It isn't really a problem there, at least.
No, sure. I just wonder what creates that feeling, because obviously, I mean, I think there are some mechanics that if you take too long, if you do 3 or 5 side missions instead of going to something that is happening right now. I think that's happening in the end of 2, that some people are getting abducted, and if you take longer than 3 side missions to deal with it, you will recover less people, basically. So it does small things like that, but you don't really know that, and I don't know if they do this in the first one necessarily. So I guess it's just the writing itself, that you really care about what's happening, right? Yeah. I mean, this has to be it, because you create that urgency for yourself, because you're invested.
Totally. Interestingly, Mass Effect 2, I've seen on a couple of best sequel lists as well.
Most people like it the most.
Because the intro is cool. Just really great, that's true.
And I think people prefer sort of in the first one, you don't have ammunition, you have overheating. And in the second one, you have clips.
Ammunition as well. I think you have both, right? In the second?
I thought you only have clips. They changed it, and I think people like that more. But it's more like a traditional shooter, I guess. A little bit. I mean, it's
kind of more to collect.
Yeah, but yeah, the third one I thought was legitimately amazing. It's a hard thing to wrap your mind around what's happening in the end, but I feel like it's thematically just.
But I have to play it. No.
Yes. So let's see what the chat is saying. So when is it saying?
Say that as well, yeah.
On the topic of sequels, 2 really good sequels in my opinion are Europa and Universalis 4 and the newly released Crusader Kings 3. Neither of which I know.
Yeah, well, I know of Crusader Kings 2, which was also really hailed as a huge immersive sim, and I've never heard of Crusader Kings 1, so I assume that was a very good sequel then. Europa Universalis I haven't played either. Probably something similar, like a strategy sim thingy.
And then Friedrich's favorite sequels are probably Ultima Underworld 2, Gothic 2. We had this as almost one of our least favorite.
Yeah.
Although the first part is better because more pure. I guess I could agree with that. And to me, the balancing was just so annoying that I really hated playing the game. And then I had to install a patch, and it was still shitty. And then I cheated, and then it just ruined part of the fun of it. And I like the containment of the first one. And worst sequel, Friedrich says, is Ultima 9. Well, I don't. Did you play that recently? Was that one of those that you streamed a month?
It was on Ultima Underworld, I think.
Oh, okay.
The one Ultima game we saw.
Yeah. Well, you probably wouldn't have played your least favorite, would you? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So, just one last one that I can't even say if this is the best sequel or whatever, but Settlers 2. I've never played a different Settlers game. I just love Settlers 2. So I don't know. Wait, wasn't there another one that I always bring up when we talk about Settlers? Oh, Age of Empires 2 was also great, of course. Yeah. Is that it? Have we done it? A whole show, almost exclusively talking about games. What's up with that?
Tried our best, yeah.
I wonder how that's gonna play. If more, gaming people are gonna enjoy that, while my wife is probably gonna hate it more because she. So yes, tell me how you like this. Is it still nice to fall asleep to? I don't know.
She's already sleeping.
Probably. Well, she usually wakes up in the end, so she probably hears only this, and yeah. So yes, so this is neat. So I guess the only thing we have left to say is that announcement you've all been surely waiting for.
And
What?
Pick a new topic?
Right.
For next time.
Right, we have to pick a topic. Okay, then
no,
never mind.
It.
What? I already said in the beginning. No, they can see that.
No, they can see, but they already know it anyway because I posted it in all the Discords.
What you posted about? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the secret announcement. I already posted it just to get people watching.
Did you post an invite link at least?
No. I will.
Oh, that's useful then. So, topic generator. Let me throw that up here. Browser. There we go. Oh, aren't you excited to find out? What are we going to talk about next time? Worst UI experiences. That sounds like something you suggested.
Yes, I did. And I came to this exact topic watching Red King's Lair stream about which game was that? I wrote UI gore and Jana read UI gore. which game was that?
Well,
I think Morrowind. That was Morrowind. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. I think so.
Oh yes, it was.
Because I don't know, the UI is just horrible there.
Right. So cool. So we have this. So now the secret spoiled announcement. Very exciting. Very exciting. Where is it? Where the heck are we? Oh, there we are. We have now. Dun dun dun. So not just us changed, but also, here. Where do I have to point? Oh, it's so hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Very well done, Bendesil, by the way. We have recently noticed how difficult it is to point. So yes, we've had it, but we're opening it. So
I can't do it.
Hypnotic Discord server. I guess I'm going to post the invite into the chat. So if you want to join us, you can.
Space to point, but anyway. Sorry.
What? Sorry?
Nothing.
Just still pointing.
Goofing around.
So yes, Hypnotic Discord server. This should be fun. So that's why I'm exhausted, because I spent all week setting this thing up, writing various rules, writing a bot that takes care of the most immediate tasks in terms of moderation and stuff, which I hope was overkill. I would really like if we don't have to deal with that. So this is one of those times where I don't mind having done the work for nothing.
Secret tip, don't try to swear in our channel. You might get banned sooner than you think. And you've done so much trying around, and it was such an annoying week for me as well, by the way. Because I always got like a Discord notification, and then I click on it, and you have already deleted everything there. I just see like an empty channel. I go, okay, that's him again. Well, and then 10 minutes later, the same thing again with another channel.
Well, that's not gonna stop now. If we actually get some people, hopefully this will be a constant problem. Well, here's hoping it's not gonna crash immediately and kind of work.
But we really have a lot of cool stuff there. So you have reminders when we stream. We both each of our individual channels as this one. We have lots of cool channels for our games, for chit chat, music, random stuff. We have a cool bot that will watch over us
and help out here and there.
I'm excited.
Should hopefully be fun. Let's see. So, yeah, I guess that's.
And I think the cool thing about our Discord, I mean, there are a lot of Discords out there, but ours is special because it's an actual safe space. So you will read our rules, you will be, I say forced, but you will be nudged to give us your pronouns you wish to use, and we will watch out that everyone uses them and is nice to each other. So this will be just a nice community of nice people being nice to each other.
That's really what a lot of this work went into. Like, just we're doing this thing that I think a lot of channels are doing, that we only open up most of it after people have like briefly introduced themselves and given us their pronouns, so that we can add them, so that people can refer to people correctly. We have a very extensive list of rules, which you can refer to. I guess you can just read the headlines and be fine. But
it's not well written, so I really recommend reading it. I did. I read a couple of versions of these, and I always had fun doing it. So,
well, that's good. Yes, that part, making it safe and inclusive and everything, that is really important to us. And so, that's what a lot of the preparation went into, to make sure that all the tools for facilitating that are there. And I just now, while we were talking, did the last couple of changes to the bot, so that you can't edit in problematic stuff, I would say. So hopefully this will be nice. Let's see.
Yeah, so if you want, come join us.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Yes, hang out. Ooh, we already have one.
But let's finish this one.
Yeah, sure. Alrighty.
So exciting.
Then join our Discord. I guess now we can post about it and share that link. I created a link that is endlessly usable, so we can just put it up anywhere and it will work.
Cool. So you will probably find it here in our Twitch profile.
Oh, right.
Soon.
Good idea.
So you can Twitch, Facebook, all the usual channels we communicate with. And the next game, reverse game jam kind of theme selection will also be taking place in our Discord.
Yes.
Only. So
yes.
if you want to take part, you have to come. So,
yes.
As I said, it's great, so you should want to.
Should be fun, hopefully. All right. So, interesting week. I guess we are slowly figuring out our framework and concept, and hopefully this just keeps getting better without being too much work, of course. And yes, so this week I will play Super Time something. What was it again? Tell me again.
Super Time Force Ultra.
Super Time. I have to write it down so I can find it. You're gonna play the Day of the Tentacle, and the next time we talk about worst UI experiences. So I have to start thinking about that because I already can't think of anything. All right. Yeah. Then thanks.
Just scroll slowly through your library and try to remember how you experience these games.
I will try. Worst UI experience, Twitch. Yeah, also the new Facebook thing. They're forcing this on me now. They're switching away from I hate it so much.
I like that. I'd say here's Steam developer backend thingy.
Yeah.
I really can't deal with that. It's like,
you just haven't. I find it actually very nice. You just haven't looked at it properly, I feel.
Well, I haven't even seen the nice looking page you showed me last time.
Yeah, because you don't look. It's right there in the list. It says news and announcements. So why wouldn't you click on that to find the news and announcements?
I have to scroll all the way down.
Anyway, let's finish this. We're 20 minutes over time. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Join our Discord.
Yes, we'll see you there. We'll chat some more. And
love you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.